Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt
And I'm
Roast.
Jessica Bun Bun.
Welcome to our reaction and review for A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, Season 1, Episode 1. This is all about the tales of Sir Duncan the Tall and his squire Egg. For those of you who don't know, this show is set between House of the Dragon and the original Game of Thrones. It's based on a series of novellas from George R.R. Martin. Now, just making it clear from the start, Jess and I have not read these. Please, if you have, do not spoil them in the comments. We just want to have a good time going on this ride.
Yeah, but we have seen all of Game of Thrones. We covered some of that here at the channel. We do cover House of the Dragon here at the channel as well. So we are very familiar with the shows, but the books, no. So this was very brand new to both of us, and going into the show, I was really expecting it to have the same feel as Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon. It did not have that feel at all. It was so fun, and there was like a really nice humor about this. And like, yeah, with Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, there is some humor, but not like this. This felt like this could be a weird comparison, but does anybody out there remember Gallivant? Man, I love that show. It was so good. It feels like it's like kind of like a baby mixed up here with, you know, House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones over here and Gallivant over here without the musicals.
I may enjoy this more than House of the Dragon. I'm just going to throw that out there, right? Okay, here's the thing.
No, it is good.
I feel like House of the Dragon, visually, it's going to have higher highs. Like, this show does not feel like it's made with that sort of budget. It hasn't gotten that sort of promotion either.
Love House of the Dragon.
I think it is such a spectacle. But if I'm just thinking, what show was I more consistently entertained by recently? Because House of the Dragon Season 2, it had all that mess where we just threw Daemon in a castle and let him have visions for like half of the season. There was too much going on. It's all over the place. This show is really confident with what it is, who these characters are. There is just an innate charm about watching Sir Duncan to me, where I find him incredibly endearing. I'll try to express the reasons why in this video, but I just found myself smiling, having a good time. This show's really fast, but even with all of that, I was begging for more at the end of this first episode.
Yeah, I think you really hit it there with the smiling. I was smiling through this as well. And I mean, I was smiling through Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon, but for very different reasons. I mean, these are very dark shows with really heavy concepts that are going on, as well as heavy storytelling that's happening here. And while, yeah, we're talking about knights and stuff like that, we're also having dancing and wearing crowns and all kinds of nonsense that's going on here. That whole first scene with him like taking a poop behind the tree and all that. This is not, to me, not the same show, and it actually doesn't even feel like it's in the same universe. It feels like it's its own real special egg.
Oh, that was very wholesome. Okay, well,
The show feels wholesome.
Hopefully they continue to be wholesome, please. We have so much to talk about when it comes to everything that worked in this first episode. We'll get into theories. We're going to break down what's really going on in Sir Duncan's head. But before we dive further into any of that, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We will be here throughout A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, looking at these episodes, talking about these characters, sharing theories, and having a great time with you guys in the comments along the way.
Absolutely. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. And if you want to join our memberships over there, we are covering Hijack Season 2 right now. It is the only place that you can get those videos. So thank you so much to everyone who is helping to support the channel by joining our memberships.
Thank you, guys. We very much appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just start with Sir Duncan here in general. This is a character played by an actor named Peter Claffey, who I was not that familiar with going in to this show. They did a great job kind of casting these unknowns, really getting lost in their worlds. And I think for Sir Duncan here, aka Dunk, the reason why he works so well for me, and not to go the full as a writer thing, but it just feels like, as someone who likes to write stories, I love the trope of sort of the big, strong, oafish character who just has sort of this sensitive side, like this heart of gold. And I feel like he is, and this is a very dangerous thing to say in a Game of Thrones universe where everyone
Yes.
is terrible. I kind of feel like he's a nice guy. I like watching him. I think he values chivalry, some other things that are important to knights. He's had his feelings hurt. He's sensitive. There's just something about him where I want to unpeel all these layers.
Absolutely, but I also think he's a filthy, filthy liar. Here's my
Oh,
tinfoil
okay.
hat. Okay, so far we haven't actually seen him get knighted.
Mhm.
He's just telling everybody that he's been knighted.
Yeah.
That before Pennytree died, he knighted him. That he had promised him since he was a young orphaned boy, and that he was squiring up with him, that he would be knighted at some point. We've actually never even seen Pennytree say that he was ever going to knight him.
Yeah.
That is nothing from the flashbacks. I think that he never got knighted, that he just truly believed that Pennytree was going to do this, but died before he was able to. So he's just saying that he's a knight when he's not, and he's trying to just kind of earn it for himself. And I have no problem with that, but I think he's lying.
See, here's the thing. I don't disagree with you. I think he probably is lying. But is he lying for a good reason? Is there such a thing as a good liar within the world of Game of Thrones? I'm not advocating for lying here, but I am saying what he cares about is becoming a knight. I think he really finds some personal value
Listen,
in
people
that.
lie on their resume all the time.
He can do that. He can get away with that. It just feels like what he's trying to do is take some sort of ownership of what a knight should be. And I think maybe there is a chance that Pennytree said to him at some point, "Oh, I'm going to make you a knight someday." But he might have said it the same way. I don't know. When you're a kid, you go out with your parents or your uncle or whatever, and they're sort of saying, "Oh, when you behave, you're going to get ice cream on the way
Oh
back."
my God, this is like what we do in the shadows with Nandor, where Guillermo was the whole time thinking he was going to be turned to a vampire,
Yes.
and it was never really going to happen.
Yeah, I
Not by
100%.
Nandor.
Oh, I missed that show so
Oh, man,
much.
me
But
too.
it really does feel like he might have been told this, and then Pennytree just never had any intention of doing it. And we saw, albeit briefly through some flashbacks, that Dunk was not treated very well during his days as a squire here. It seems like he was mistreated, he was handled badly, and I feel like, this is just my tinfoil hat here,
Mhm.
that a big point of the show for this character is he wants to actually make knights again what he feels like they are in his head and what they should be. So I think he has this driven personality where he feels like he's responsible for trying to find a way to make this happen. And that's why he's so desperate to engage in all of the nonsense that he ends up engaging with throughout this episode.
Okay, maybe you've convinced me now that lying is a good thing.
Okay, for Dunk, not anybody else. For Dunk, I'm allowing
For
it.
Dunk, yes, I will allow it too. We did see from the flashbacks, yeah, it doesn't look like he was treated all that great. He's been squiring since he was a little kid. He's a full-on grown man now, and he still was squiring all
Yeah.
the way up until the death of Pennytree. I mean, he was never going to be turned.
No, it was just never really gonna happen. Now, just because we all sort of know that this show is based on source material about Dunk and
Right.
Egg, a little bit of a surprise, I guess. The air is taken out of the tires when we meet Egg for the first time, and he's just sort of this stable hand. And maybe for some out there, the end of this where he comes back around is a surprise, but I never really took it like that. It's just like, okay, we're gonna see him again, and we're probably gonna see him again before the episode is over.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, watching Game of Thrones, especially House of the Dragon, we're in this Targaryen era on the show right now. Everybody's named Aegon, that I was like, okay, this kid is named Egg, so he's got to be another Aegon. There's a million of them. Everybody's naming their kid the same thing in the Targaryen family.
Yeah.
And his head is shaved. And I was just like, okay, so like one of two things are going on here. There's some sort of genetic thing, or he has an illness that is making it that he doesn't have any hair, or his hair is silver, and that's what's going on. His name is Egg, and he has no hair. I feel like he's hiding it. And if that is what's happening and that's in the books, please don't tell me. But that's what it feels like is happening. Just knowing the universe and like Aegon, how is it not?
Okay, you have convinced me with this, because here's my first reaction, and I say this as a fellow bald person here.
You hiding that silver hair?
No, I am not.
I'm hiding
Targaryen.
my silver
Okay,
hair. I'm
alright.
50.
I don't know how to recover from that. Okay, so here's the thing. Because I am bald, a lot of us bald people out here, we have heard the expression egghead. And so like initially I was thinking
Oh,
egghead,
okay,
but
yeah.
you've convinced me just
Well, it
because
could be that.
he doesn't look like an egghead when he's bald. He's got a different, rounder
No.
shape. I look more
Yeah.
like an egghead when I'm bald. And I'm not insulting myself. It's just I have a very oval shaped head. And it really doesn't feel that way. And also, the story of here is a possible Targaryen who is hiding out in the midst of where all these normal people are. And then
Mhm.
you've got the most normal, quote unquote, knight imaginable looking after him. It's just a classic rags to riches story.
Yes.
There's something about that I find so appealing because of Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, we're dealing with all of these, big names, rulers, lords, higher ups, and here we just got some dude, and we're watching this some dude who doesn't have great bathroom habits, who's definitely not wearing clean clothing, wander around to get treated like nothing by almost everyone he comes across.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen this in the Game of Thrones universe as well, where we've had higher ups in these families decide to kind of go undercover to either find their way to be able to do something else or get information or whatever. This is not out of the Game of Thrones universe to do something like this. It might just be what you're saying that it's like egghead. I hadn't heard that one before, but it might not be.
No, I think there's something very
He's
higher up.
very young to be bald, so what is
Yes,
happening? It feels like he's hiding something.
it does. And to me, I'm fine if they want to string this out for a little while.
Yeah.
Mostly because I'm just enjoying the world that they've presented to us. I don't need high stakes moving into the immediate future.
Right.
Just think about this episode. The real stakes, the dramatic tension throughout this entire, I don't know, 39 minutes is that Dunk shows up to Ashford. He wants to end up entering this tournament. He wants to be able to prove himself, but in order to do this, he needs a recommendation. And it's
Mhm.
a recommendation he has almost no leg to stand on here because he's basically just fully committing to something that his knight did, and nobody seems to remember his knight either.
Yeah, that's the thing about it, right? Is no one seems to remember Pennytree. He can't really prove that he is a knight or not, and he needs this recommendation, which he didn't get in this episode. So, I mean, is he going to be able to compete at all? This is where my next tinfoil hat is coming
All right,
in.
all right.
Oh, Lionel Baratheon,
Oh
my
boy,
favorite character
what a
so
mess.
far. Oh God, I love him so much. He is wild. He just feels like a pirate, but with like a lord's title. He's so wild. I think that after the night that they had of dancing and talking and being just ridiculous and drinking and sharing their crowns, that he's probably going to be the person who's going to end up just vouching for him. Like that last conversation they had at the end of the night where, Dunk's like, I really want to do this, but like, can I beat somebody like you that's, grown up with swords and training and whatever? And Lyle's like, well, no, of course you can't. Like, how could you? I would have all the training in the world, but you got to shoot your shot at some point, right? Like, whether you win or lose, you got to shoot your shot. So I think Lionel's going to be the person to vouch for him and be like, shoot your shot. Let's go.
So I
Do
think
not kill Lionel Dunk,
I
please.
don't think so, and I understand why you like Lionel so much because we're
Love
gonna
Lionel.
have a little bit of an HBO cross comparison here. Lionel is basically the Roman Roy of the Game of Thrones
I
universe.
love Roman
He is a complete man child, this
Yes, he
Lionel, who
is.
really has no business having the position that he does. He's
at
engaging.
most lords.
Yeah, he's just engaging in all this tomfoolery. And I feel like one of the things with Roman on Succession a lot of the time was that really he just wants to be normal in his own odd sort of way. He wants to roam around, get himself into some trouble. Yeah, take advantage of his title and the things that come along with that.
Yes.
But I think what made that whole Lionel, Sir Duncan
Mhm.
party montage so effective is that they're both getting this taste of how the other half lives, and both of them are craving it. I think Lionel, on some level, he can't ever admit it. he's probably tired of wandering around, having people clean his shoes, not really being able to have any conversations that are truly himself. And like Dunk represents all these things that Lionel can't be. And for Dunk, number one, this is a way to get some food. He's not even really caring about the
Yeah.
fact that he hasn't paid proper tribute. But I think beyond all of that, he wants to actually feel like what it's really like to be a knight, even for a split second. Even if he knows on some level he's probably going to end up getting caught. Like it's a risk he's willing to take.
Yeah, I think that's what it is for Lionel as well. I think he's getting a taste of actually being with someone who's not afraid of him, that's not willing to give away their last knife or trinket or bauble to him just for a chance to be part of something that he actually has somebody who's just unafraid. Shows up, I don't know you, I brought you nothing and I'm eating your tart in front of your face. Well, what's the problem here? That Lionel will be like, I have not got to meet anyone like you ever with my title because people are just too afraid of me and my family and my house.
So, one of the other things this show has done a really effective job with is playing around with just how big Dunk is. Because
Yeah.
I looked it up. The actor's 6'5". Like, that's tall, but we're not talking, he's
Well,
not.
you're 6'3". I mean,
Yeah.
you're pretty tall.
Yeah, but he's not Wimby, the 7 foot whatever guy from
Okay,
the
6'5" is
Spurs.
really
No,
tall.
but they made him though appear gigantic at times compared to these other people, which is really good casting. But they've also done this thing where Dunk is used to wanting to be invisible or trying to hide out or be secretive. So this actor has found a way to sort of physically shrink himself down at times. Like
Mhm.
when he first gets to the party, he's so hunched over. He's so please don't notice me. Please don't notice me. And but
Yeah.
then when he gets to that party sequence, he's just flailing all over the place. He really just looks like this big galoof roaming around, breaking everything. And they sort of have this flip side of it. So he kind of gets to live in these both worlds
Mhm.
at the same time.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed how they played around with all of that, but also that we have what looks like this big win for Dunk. And a show like this,
Yeah.
you want to be unpredictable, where, oh, he's just made a friend with Lionel. Maybe all this is going to get paid off. But then immediately, right after that, he just gets dirt kicked on him all over again.
Yeah.
So Dunk is now in this spot. He doesn't have anything. He got a nice meal.
Yep.
That's basically it. And oh, here is Egg. Egg has shown up and is there for him in his time of need.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, now that he's there, like, sure, he could send him away again and be like, you know what? I already told you no. No means no. You can go now. But after I think having this meeting with Lionel and kind of really sitting down, being like, yeah, I have nothing, but I still want to be able to try to go up against someone like you who is trained and all these types of things. And I think he realizes he does need some help because, especially if he is lying
Mhm.
and that he's not actually a knight, he has been a squire for a very long time. He seems like since he was a child all the way to now when he's a full-on adult. So he knows that a good knight is going to need a squire, somebody to actually help him.
Yeah.
He can't do everything himself. And if he's going to put his life on the line to be able to like win a contest or put his horses on the line, put it all on the line, he's going to need help. And here's Egg, so why not? No one else is helping him.
This brings me to the next big question here, which is what's in this for Egg at the end of the day? I mean, it's not like his life, before Duncan was great or anything. It was bad, but he's kind of moving from, all right, you're in this really rough life. Now you're in this other rough life. It's a little bit of a lateral move in that way.
Oh, well, that's the thing, right? Like, Egg hasn't really admitted anything.
Yeah.
Like, even when they first met and Dunk was like, oh, you're an orphan then, I guess, right? He never answered that question. He didn't say yes. He didn't say no. And Dunk just went right back into his own thing. Oh, yeah, me too. This, that, whatever, and just assumed things about Egg. Like, we don't know why or where he's come from or what is going on here. Like, it could be someone that's in the same type of position as Dunk was, that, maybe he is an orphan. Maybe he is somebody who wants to come up and just wants a shot and wants an opportunity. And Dunk is like, okay, I'm going to give you that opportunity. What if he is like a hidden Targaryen and he is just another 500th Aegon in the line here that's like, you know what? I want to like see how everybody lives, or I want something different. I don't, maybe he's not in line for succession for the throne at all. He's like, you know what? I want to do what I want. Maybe he is. He's like, I don't want that. I want this. We don't know anything about him yet.
I'll throw two different theories out here on all of this. Okay, theory number one is that, all right, let's say that he is a secret Targaryen. He's trying to hide his lineage here, but if he does want to potentially rise to power, he wants to do it the right way. And in his mind, maybe he feels like Dunk is the chosen one. As weird as that seems, that this is somebody who he actually feels like wants to be a knight for the right reasons. Maybe he hasn't come across a lot of that, and he's just thinking, all right, maybe now is the time that I should move from where I am and kind of see what happens. But the other idea I want to throw out there, and I'm doing this, Jess and I, we love our competitive reality TV shows, whether
So
it be
much.
the traitors that we're covering right now, Survivor, Big Brother. Like, one of the things about alliances on these shows, it's good to have a physical threat paired up with a strategist. And we
Yeah.
know Dunk, very strong, big dude, not really a lot going on up here so far through what we have seen. And that's okay. We love you anyway, Dunk. But maybe Egg is the strategist here.
Could be,
Maybe
yeah.
Egg is going to be the person who helps to navigate him on this journey, because Egg realizes there are potentially big benefits for him if he's able to pull all this off. But he knows without someone like Dunk, he can't really do anything. You know, he's a child. He's not that strong from what we have seen. So this could be kind of a winning combination.
Yeah, it could be.
So I think we're going to start to kind of figure out, moving into the next episode, what Egg's long game plan is, what's
Yeah.
going to happen with this tournament. I feel like that at the very least has to happen in these next couple of episodes.
I hope so. I mean, it's a really short season. It's only like 6 episodes.
I know. It's a really short season. The episodes themselves are really short. It just feels
Yeah.
like, to me, how can you watch this show and just not have a really, really good time? It's
Mhm.
just thoroughly watchable, even if you don't know a lot about Game of Thrones.
Yes.
But that is where we are coming out of the first episode of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. What did you guys think about it? What do you feel like are the highs? Is there anything you want to see done better? Let us know. Hit that subscribe button, and you can support us further by joining our memberships. That is a great way to check out our exclusive content of Hijack.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you here next time.